You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Amberzonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Amberzonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Amberzonia. Stay tuned.
The Amber World Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we draft. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way, we should be asking ourselves some critical questions.
Are we still enjoying 3 square meals a day? While our boys on the ground lack the basic gear they need to resist the occupiers?
Are we still living a life of luxury and comfort? While our brave restoration forces lack medical supplies at the home front?
Are we still throwing big birthday bashes while our restoration forces lack basic communication equipment to maximize their efforts?
Are we still going on cruises and expensive vacations while our IDFs on the ground go without food and logistics?
Are we still finding excuses not to make the necessary sacrifices and drafting big while our restoration forces lack the game-changing equipment that they so desperately need to bleed the enemy?
On a daily basis, how much are we putting aside for our liberation, knowing that only through the fierce resistance are we going to liberate our beloved country?
Are we providing the federal government and the CIC the means to carry out some of the critical, intelligence and other special operations across the national territory?
As we ponder these questions, we must remember that a goal that is not funded is nothing but a wish. And we must not let Amberzonia die as a wish, because we failed to fulfill our patriotic duties by making the great sacrifices befitting a great people.
The World Draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices. We are enough, so let's draft, and draft until we drop. Our existence as a people depends on that.
It is Award 22. Let us draft until we drop.
The Amber World Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we draft. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way, we should be asking ourselves some critical questions.
Are we still enjoying 3 square meals a day? While our boys on the ground lack the basic gear they need to resist the occupiers?
Are we still living a life of luxury and comfort, while our brave restoration forces lack medical supplies at the home front?
Are we still throwing big birthday bashes while our restoration forces lack basic communication equipment to maximize their efforts?
Are we still going on cruises and expensive vacations while our IDFs on the ground go without food and logistics?
Are we still finding excuses not to make the necessary sacrifices and drafting big while our restoration forces lack the game-changing equipment that they so desperately need to bleed the enemy?
On a daily basis, how much are we putting aside for our liberation, knowing that only through the fierce resistance are we going to liberate our beloved country?
Are we providing the federal government and the CIC the means to carry out some of the critical, intelligence and other special operations across the national territory?
As we ponder these questions, we must remember that a goal that is not founded is nothing but a wish. And we must not let Ambazonia die as a wish, because we failed to fulfill our patriotic duties by making the great sacrifices befitting a great people.
The war draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices. We are enough, so let's draft, and draft until we drop. Our existence as a people depend on that.
It is Award 22. Let us draft until we drop.
The Amber War Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we drop. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way,
Fellow Ambazonians, this is an announcement declaring 3 days national lockdown from Monday the 25th to Wednesday the 27th of July 2022. This lockdown has to do with the visit of President Macron to La République du Cameroon. We all know that the war between La République du Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is a proxy war fought by the French, our true warriors, our true enemies who are fighting us. Behind the shadows are the French. Mr. Macron, the President of France, is therefore the real perpetrator of the genocide that has been declared on our people. And he is visiting neighboring La République du Cameroon to review, encourage, and visit his troops, his genocidal troops. Ambazonia is not invited to that inglorious occasion, except for one blackleg, Mr. Frundi, who has been invited to represent himself. We in Ambazonia, all Ambazonians, we will use these 3 days to mourn. The whole territory of Ambazonia should observe these 3 days as mourning days. We want to mourn our more than 45,000 innocent souls that have been brutally slaughtered by the French paid armies of La République in our country. And this genocide is ongoing. We are mourning. our territory will be in complete lockdown. Our borders, especially with La Republique, shall be locked down, shall be closed during this time. We are calling on Mr. Macron to tell his handlers to meet us as quickly as now for a meaningful negotiated settlement to this war that is devouring our people unjustly. During these days, these 3 days, all forces are put on notice. All Ambazonian restoration forces should do everything to enforce this order nationwide and make sure that our borders with La Republique are closed, so that if by any means Mr. Macron on his way from France or on his way to Benin flies over our airspace, he should be able to see that Ambazonia is mourning. And even if he does not see it, that his own press in Yaoundé and his intelligence services in his embassy should be able to communicate to him clearly where the state of Ambazonia and what is happening right now. This is the right thing to do, and may God continue to protect our country. God bless you.
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned.
Okay. Dearly beloved Ambazonians, greetings to you and to everyone. Welcome to Ethics for an Emerging Nation, Ambazonia. We're sorry for a late start of this program. Let me begin from there. And to let you know that it's all commonly said that it's better late than never. So here to talk to you about the emerging state of Boyo or county of Boyo. So today's program will be talking on laying the foundation for an emerging county of Boyo, laying the foundation for ethics for an emerging county of Boyo. And as we go into this program today, we want to appreciate our women's department for last week's program, that they laid a firm foundation as to the ethics that the women's wing or the women of Ambazonia will put in place by the time our nation is actualized. They have spoke to us greatly on the ethical way in which the women are going to conduct themselves, or what is going to be implemented for our women to conduct themselves and to bring morals and ethics to this new emerging nation of Ambazonia. In today's program, we are glad to let you know that as the rounds have been going from county to county, I remember the day I came up for the Momo County to talk about ethics for Momo County. Today, I am not from Boyo, but I am here to introduce the great team that will be speaking to us on the ethics of an emerging county of Boyo. I introduce our speakers for today. I want to say that Boyo is one of the greatest counties in Ambazonia because Boyo has 4 LGAs. We have Njinikom LGA, we have Fundong LGA, we have Belo LGA, Abum LGA. These are the 4 LGAs that make the county of Boyo. And in today's program, I would like you to welcome to the microphone at this time Honorable Ernest Timge, who will be one of our guests to talk to us on the emerging ethics in the county of Boyo. Mr. Ernest, you are welcome to the program today. Honorable Ernest, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you, Pastor Victor, for having me.
You are welcome. So talk to us. I know that we're trying to let the world know this is a war that is different from every other war. We are in the midst of war, but we are letting the international community and the world to know that we can never become like South Sudan. We can never become like any of these countries that people are quoting us for, that maybe after our freedom is given, we'll become like them. And so the Ethics Department of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia put this program together so that each county should come and tell the people of the world the various ethical things that they have put together in their various counties, able to bring and shine the great and wonderful image of the Amazonian nation. So tell us, and I'll just write you, I'll allow you now, just go ahead to give us all that you have concerning the plans you people are laying down to bring ethics and morals in the entire county of Boyo. You have the microphone. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. My name is Ernest Timge. I come from Fundong LGA. As you rightly said, there are 4 LGAs in Boyo County. But one county, one LGA, the Boom LGA, has not been fully constituted. But we are trying. We're working at something to make sure that this particular LGA should be constituted like the others. So Boyo has 2 representatives in the Interim House of Representatives. I am one of them, and with Honorable Ngong Divine. And as you rightly said, since November 2016, when this revolution started, I can say that it started in Boyo. Even the county by county and LGA by LGA, our president, Dr. Samuel Sakro, has said that the interim government copied these structures from Boyo Council. We started as Boyo Council, and we worked very effectively until when the county and LGA structures took over. And Boyo, we are not many, but the few of us that are committed to this struggle, we are making sure that we stand by this interim government and then support it, and then tell the world that the story of Ambazonia will never be buried again. The truth is very difficult to bury the truth. And France tried with La République to bury our story. But now the story is in the open, and it's very difficult. They will never bury our story again. And they will, like Honorable Weber said, that when the people shall rise, I think that Ambazonia is risen and never to fall again. I will allow Nawain Floor to continue from where I stopped.
Okay, thank you so much. I was just going to say, Nawain Floor, you are very welcome to the show, and we are grateful to have you. And we know that you all have a very big package for us today to talk to us about the great county of Boyo, and just give us the nuggets of what you are putting in place to see that the Boyo County will become one of the greatest counties as we get into taking our territory and taking rulership over our land. Mafra, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you, our great pastor. I want to greet the people of Ambazonia. I want to greet the people of Boyo, and I want to welcome you to this late night program. I'm sure some of you will be sleeping, but you can always watch us later. Boyo, from the onset of this war, has been so instrumental. From the beginning, where it started with the killing of mutilated of Sam Sawyer and other fighters, it became so evident that the Boyo people were ready to rise up to fight. And the few who stood up and decided to fund the volunteer fighters did a great job, and Boyo was very hot. That was the earliest counties that started to make La Republique to think twice. And when we arrived at a certain point, La Republique could not, put our back on the ground. And the only thing they could do was to start the element of divide and rule, confusion, and making people to realize otherwise. Unfortunately for some Boyomites, they fell into the trap of La Republique. But some of us, we said we are not going to back down. We are not going to be confused. We are not going to be dragged down through that route, because we know our history. We are not a hungry people. We are a warrior people. And those of the descendants of the warrior from Boyo, they haven't backed down. They know themselves. And we are standing strong to make sure that Boyo maybe get back to the lead in the fighting elite in this Ambazonia. As far as this fight is concerned, we are not going to be deterred. We are not going to be bought over by the enemy. We are not going to be confused. And we are not going to drop our weapons for anything. If it's only me and Mr. Enes here, we will fight on. Thank you, Pastor.
Wow. Thank you, Mama Flo. Honorable Enes, I know, even being a member of the interim house, just a lot that the interim house is putting together for each county to inform its people or to start educating its people. What are some of the great plans that you are introducing to the people of Boyo so that they can start putting together in order to make Boyo one of the ethical counties of the people of Ambazonia? Comrade Enes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. When these coup plotters came up with this their game plan, I think Boyo was one of the counties that was touched, and it was almost like a fear, if not of few of us who stood up, who are fully committed to this struggle. We won't have Boyo County, but we stood up and then we said that Boyo is not going to fall. We started this struggle. Everybody saw from our example, and we are not going to let it down. So what happened is, like right now, I'm a representative representing Boyo. Boyo is representing in the interim house as a county, not on the basis of LGAs, because only Fundong is fully constituted. The coup actually created some damage, and we came up, and then for a few of us who are still standing for this struggle, supporting this interim government, we decided that we will work as a county to build from there. So two representatives representing Boyo County. I am representing Fundong, and then Honorable Ngong Divine is representing Ginicom. But we are representing as a county. So while we are representing, we are working at something to make sure that all the LGS are fully constituted, so that we can have some other representatives come from these various LGS that make up Boyo County. And with that in mind, uh, we are not many of us, but we are few, but very committed and then focused. So that is what we're doing for now.
Thank you. We know that there is just a lot of immoral things that our people have been forced into by this rogue government of La Republic. I remember growing up as a child, we will have PWD taking care of our roads. We will have, we used to have some inspectors that will come into the villages and inspect toilets, inspect compounds, just to keep cleanliness and neatness. You know, looking at where we were and how our people have just been brought into this sham of a relationship with La Republic that has made the ethics values of our depreciated, especially when we talk about our police officers on the roads. In those days, we had police officers who were purely there to control traffic, no overloads. People were, you know, your papers are finished, they have to let you get your papers for your car, insurance and the rest. But we have nowadays a lot of corruption. Some of the things that we see happening migrated from La Republic. What are you people doing, or what are some of the changes you plan to bring to the county of Boyo, and to make it show a difference that we are not the same Republic, that will show the ethical value of our nation with the Boyo County? What are some of those things that people are looking to change and to bring to our people so that it can really, really of our land? Let me start with you, Mama Florence, before we go to Honorable Ennis.
Thank you. When I was growing up, there is what you mentioned there about sanitation. When I was still very young, there used to be some people who would come into a compound called sanitary team. It was village by village. It was not just in towns. They will come in and check if the compound is clean. I was still very young. And we could open the door, go and play in the bush, or play around, go to the field without even locking our house. We will come back, everything is intact. Nobody goes into somebody else's house to steal. Secondly, the people in the village will eat together. When somebody gives birth, the whole women will go and sleep in that born house. They will comfort the woman. If somebody dies, it would be the same. You will hardly see prostitutes or girls prostituting around the road. You will not see a girl standing on the roadside with a boy at the early age. But now everything has become deteriorated. So not only Boyo, the Ambazonia we hope to build will be free from corruption. It's difficult to free people from corruption, but we can do it, because some other countries there is corruption, but very limited. Because if you are corrupted, if they catch you, you are in trouble. So we're going to lay down modalities for our people to be able to live on. And I want to suggest that I was thinking of ethics as one of the subjects to start right from elementary school, so that our children will start knowing what it means to be an Amazonian, what it means to live a life, a clean life, a life free from drugs, a life free from stealing, a life free from corruption, but looking forward to a life of hard work, a life of morality, a life of looking forward to worship God in Amazonia is my wish. The Amazonia will look up to God that has freed them. Amazonia will not behave like the children of Israel to forget their God, because we are existing in this war. As the war is still going on, is because this Amazonia was handed over to God, and God has not abandoned us. If not, the coup plotting was the last card that La République planned for us. But now we are triumphed. The coup plotting, I think they are planning another one, but we will still survive because we are in the hands of God. Ambazonians should see, the Boyo people should see. I know that the Boyo people are a worshiper, a people of worship. The Catholic Church, the Baptist, and the Presbyterian Church, they all are in Boyo, and again the Pentecostal denominations, and the Boyo people, they love God. And my prayer is that when Ambazonia is free, it's just a matter of when. It's just a matter of time. But Ambazonia is free because God has decreed so. And the ethics will begin from Boyo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama. Honorable Ernest, you heard Mama and you heard my question before. I
Yes.
know that you have a lot to tell us. Some of the things that you think you can make our people, whet the appetite of our people to expect to see in our nation, beginning in the county of Boyo. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Pastor Vic, for this question. Talking about ethics, uh, I want to caution every Ambazonian and to say that La République is not sleeping. La République thought that they have succeeded with the coup plotting team. They failed. And now another thing they are trying to do is they are trying to use cultural organizations abroad. I'm talking as one of the Chindas from the palace, Com Palace. And La République is using some elites who are actually based here in America, in other countries. And what is La République the end game? Is that they are trying to infiltrate these cultural groups abroad with the hope that when they infiltrate these cultural groups and then take over leadership roles, they are going to be the one to dictate what is happening back home. Because they think that they will be the one to kill the Amazonian struggle. And it is very, very difficult to kill this struggle, particularly at this time. So I've been at battle with some of them, particularly the community in America. That have seen La République transporting those corrupt practices from home and then infiltrating our cultural groups like the AFOACOM USA. And I've written a lot about what is happening, and I've actually warned that if we're not very careful, this infiltration is going to mess up. Because they're not only infiltrating the cultural groups abroad, they are infiltrating our traditional institutions, even back home. And they have messed up our traditional institution, that even the authentic culture that we supposed to preserve and protect for our children tomorrow, for Ambazonians tomorrow. They are messing up with it, and then by so doing, they think that they will destroy the struggle. That is what they're thinking. But what I would like to see as uh, what I would like to see as something good for Ambazonian or for my community, for Com community tomorrow, is that as a security guard for Com for the Com tradition and culture, I have to defend the Com culture and tradition anywhere, because this culture and tradition is part of sanitation, because when we maintain a healthy culture and tradition, then we will build a very authentic culture for Ambazonians tomorrow. Like La Republic is trying to infiltrate with the so-called chiefs, House of Chiefs. They are playing games, and it's not going to work, because as soon as Ambazonians succeed, as soon as Ambazonian becomes, we find ourselves in our land, we are going to make sure that we institute all these values that are almost lost. Thank you.
We will be looking to some of the major questions that we just need to know from line heads up, not into details. As I've been indicated, we have just 5 more minutes to go. Each of you will take 2 minutes to see if these things are there in your local government or in the county. The thing we want to know is, for ethics to really have its roots in Boyo, at least we need ethics committee or an ethics committee at the county level. My first question is, do you all have that at the county level? Second question is, do you know if your ethics representative has joined the Extended Ethics Commission Forum? And the third is, do you have a copy of the Ambazonian Ethics Code? And the last one is, do you have a copy of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia? Now, why we're trying to bring this up is that for these ethics to really be properly managed in your county, you people must be having some of this thing handy. So each of you, I'll give you 2 minutes to answer if you have any idea on this question before we round up for today. Let me start with you, Mama Florence.
Yeah, thank you, our pastor. Yes, for the copy of Constitution, I think that our coordinator has one. But with the ethics, we have not really been in that area because of lack of manpower. As our honorable has said, we are going to make sure that we build that area of ethics in Boyo, so that we'll be fully informed and then fully engaged in building our nation. That's all I have to say for now as far as ethics is concerned. Thank you.
Have
When
a copy of
somebody is to be given a position of government or a position in government, so do you see Boyo County having these questions, or can you answer this question on behalf of the Boyo people, that you are clear with these things? I don't want to repeat them again because you already have them.
Yes. As I said, we are not many, but we are building up a new Boyo, and we are working
Amen.
very hard to make sure that we will have a strong Boyo. So we don't have a copy of the ethics, but we have a copy of the constitution. And the chair or the coordinator of Boyo has actually encouraged every member to read the constitution, to be familiar with everything that is in the constitution. And yeah, what I can promise is Boyo is working
Okay,
very hard. Yeah.
thank you. So I would recommend that you get in touch with the chair for the election, who is Mark Dorotingwa, the one that put this program together, for you to have a copy of the ethics code. And then also, you see, I know that we may say we don't have people, but anybody that you think is like my Florence here can be your representative in the extended ethics commission forum that will be there to gather information then bring to the team. So those are two things that I would like you to partner and get in touch with Mark Rotingwa, and he should be able to put you in, and so that your county is fully represented, and that you can be able to have the available resources for your county in the ethics department. So I'm just going to give you 1 minute for your last word. So Maflo, let's start with you. What can you tell the people of Boyo, and maybe especially those our own local government is where from them?
Njinicom.
Njinicom, okay. So just give us your last word and any promises for the people of Njinicom.
Okay, I want to encourage the people of Njinicom to join the LGA. There are so many people out there who have no clue what's going on. Just get in contact with ABC and they will direct you who to contact. Do not be silent. Do not say that you did not know. We know that there are people out there who want to join this revolution wholeheartedly. Please contact us. Mungkin secuota wainkom sebena senkala a check yenjang dena a taxi wong ko gya anjong se fama a che boyo kus ko gya na no manda fugi gima a taxi wong I was a la inkaisa kani bena wani me ma taxa wulo chong mga fa yin wi chong na gasan ba ta mako na man tin bom tin ta gasan kin su gam ta wainda na nui wong fundo su fu ko su gala yala anga mu la me wong do na che Nigeria su gam ta waina na yin chitwa ikalas reina kalas fu sigi su gam ta su to e wong na yini kai ni di bena President Sako Chong Menko wama wunchi winzukom unkame lakin zukom yate gala mun zue fum suka zina ka inui wong ka zina chi sayangan bom tenta ye ka yi chi sayangan awol ni fa agi tufunga sisa ina fugya waina gima kwe wong na we to e wong atani ka yi fu munang kin zemunang agala la republic ayong na kia a cheta le fisegi aza fu nyungia tv afai gi fata na cheta segi ayong na. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ma Florence. And your own last word, Honest, what last word do you have for us before we go for today?
Okay, thank you, Pastor Vic. I want to encourage every Fundong son and daughter who believe in this struggle and in this government to come out and then support Boyo. Boyo draft is coming up soon. And I want to encourage everybody in Boyo, every son and daughter of Boyo, who believe in this struggle and in this government, and that we are heading towards Boya, not Yaoundé. that it should come out and then support this government and support our struggle. Because we have only one way, one direction, and it is Boya. Our destination is Boya, not Yaoundé. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Talking about that, I want to re-echo the words of our president that came out I think this week, declaring a 3-day lockdown beginning from Monday the 25th of July through Wednesday the 27th. Let's show the international community that there is a leader over Ambazonia who is our president, President Samuel Ekomesako. Lockdown for 3 days. Let France, let Yaoundé know that Ambazonians have a leader. Let them not go making noise on the street and say we don't know who to talk to. One of those lockdown in the presence of Macron, so that Macron should know that if he's wasting his time trying to talk with some people in Konengi or some people in the camp of the coup plotters, they are wasting their time because all those people don't control home front or they don't control the people of Ambazonia. So please lock down 3 days, Monday the 25th through Wednesday the 27th. And on a special note on that lockdown, we are calling on the entire nation of Ambazonia to declare a 3-day fasting from that 25th of July, Monday to Wednesday the 27th. Let's pray the will of God to come to pass. Let's do the plans of the wicked concerning our independence and our nation's freedom. And also know that we did this before. When the Grandmaster came to our country, we prayed the entire country and he went weeping because his mission failed. We are calling on all the churches in Ambazonia, with the Catholic, the Presbyterian, the Baptist, the Full Gospel, all other denominations in any order, the Apostolic. Please, in your sacred corner, as you lock down in your houses, open your mouth and pray that God's perfect will be done. Let it work come to us, and let France advise La République to go to Switzerland, where we shall go, we shall negotiate a peaceful settlement so that we can become good neighbors with them. And to conclude, please, tomorrow is manual draft. Tomorrow is manual draft. Come out tomorrow and support Manu so that in the days when you'll be drafting also, the people of Manu will come to support you. Just like Honorable Enes have said, support Boyo when they are drafting. I want to call on the people of Boyo, come out tomorrow and support Manu so that when you will be drafting, Manu too will come out and support you. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in into our program, Ethics for an Emerging Nation of Ambazonia. See you again next Friday for another edition of the program. Shalom. Bye.
Fellow Ambazonians, this is an announcement declaring 3 days national lockdown from Monday the 25th to Wednesday the 27th of July 2022. This lockdown has to do with the visit of President Macron to La République du Cameroon. We all know that the war between La République du Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is a proxy war fought by the French, our true warriors, our true enemies who are fighting us. Behind the shadows are the French. Mr. Macron, the president of France, is therefore the real perpetrator of the genocide that has been declared on our people. And he is visiting neighboring La République du Cameroon to review, encourage, and visit his troops, his genocidal troops. Ambazonia is not invited to that inglorious occasion, except for one blackleg, Mr. Frundi, who has been invited to represent himself. We in Ambazonia, all Ambazonians, We will use these 3 days to mourn. The whole territory of Ambazonia should observe these 3 days as mourning days. We want to mourn our more than 45,000 innocent souls that have been brutally slaughtered by the French paid armies of La République in our country. And this genocide is ongoing. We are mourning. Our territory will be in complete lockdown. Our borders, especially with La République, shall be locked down, shall be closed during this time. We are calling on Mr. Macron to tell his handlers to meet us as quickly as now for a meaningful negotiated settlement to this war that is devouring our people unjustly. During these days, these 3 days, all forces are put on notice. All Ambazonian restoration forces should do everything to enforce this order nationwide and make sure that our borders with La République are closed, so that if by any means Mr. Macron on his way from France or on his way to Benin flies over our airspace, he should be able to see that Ambazonia is mourning. And even if he does not see it, that his own press in Yaoundé and his intelligence services in his embassy should be able to communicate to him clearly where the state of Ambazonia and what is happening right now. This is the right thing to do, and may God continue to protect our country. God bless you.